And I hope you're doing great. And here, back to your friend Jacinta, we'll be talking to you about a certain rule of thumb when it comes to budgeting. Yes, last time I was elaborating on budgeting because I was going to come up with a certain rule of thumb that tends to imply in various scenarios. That's the 50, 30, and 20 budget rule. So this will come in handy while you're budgeting, as you plan how to spend your money. This will really come in handy. So I'll be elaborating about it. The 50, 30, and 20. Like 50% of your net income. I already talked about what net income is. So if you don't know, please, you can revisit the previous video. So the 50% of your net income should go to your needs. Like it should cater your transport, your food, your rent, like those basic things. What would I consider as a need? To me, a need is something that I can't live without. Like if it's a pair of shoes, then let it be something that maybe, let's talk about like a farmer. A farmer needs gumboots when going to their farm, right? So that is a basic need to them. So I'll say they can't do without that boot with them, so they need it. Like we need food so that we acquire energy to keep working to get the money that you're talking about. So that is also a basic need. So the mandatory stuff, ensure that they are covered up by the 50% of your money. And if you're earning a lot, that 50% will be seen as much when it comes to tackling your needs. You can as well save from it, so that maybe you'll be spending 20 on your needs, 20%, or maybe 10. But the basic rule is we come down to the 50, 20, and 30% rule of thumb. So the next part that I'll be talking about is the 30%. The 30% goes into your wants. Your wants are things like entertainment, gym, and what else? Like recreational purposes, birthdays, like these things that pop up, like funerals that you have to contribute towards, accidents, and all that comes, I would say it comes under your wants, like because you need to plan for these birthdays. You can have friends, let's say in a month you have 6 friends who are having their birthdays, and it's good to make people feel special on their birthdays. So ensure that you set aside some amount to cater for such, so that you won't have to run into your saving pool to get some coins to buy someone a gift. So yes, things like graduation, things like baby shower, things like road trips that have been planned. Ensure that you have that certain amount that is set aside for such. Then the remaining 20% will go into your savings and investments. Just something that I've missed out on the ones. Once also on the slash, put their dates. Like that is where you put a certain pool to ensure that your debts are catered for. So if you had a student loan, the debts are supposed to be catered from the ones, the 30%. If you had a loan that you acquired from a bank or such, you ensure that the 30% is also catering for some coins to go into the debt pool, so that you keep slashing off the debt in your life. And then now eventually onto the 20%. The 20% goes to investment and saving. You need to save money. Like when you save money, it really comes in handy later on in life when things pop up. like after maybe retirement, you'll be having some coins that are still evolving for you. And then still under the saving pool, the 20%, ensure that you're also investing. So under the 20%, there is a way that you can define it. Maybe you choose to have your 5% under saving, and then the 15% under investment, or 10% saving, 10% investing. But when it comes to investing, ensure that your money is still in a vicious circle, that it's still generating more resources, for you. And that would really help you so much. I would really love to elaborate on saving your money and investing. Ensure that when you're saving your money, you're saving with a legit company. Don't save your money and later on regret. Also ensure that you're disciplined enough not to keep poking your savings pool. When you've saved 8,000, ensure it's 8,000 and you don't keep going back and deducting it every now and then. Ensure you're disciplined enough. Then when it comes to investments, invest wisely. Invest in something that will help you grow. Please stop going after shiny objects, as Robert Kiyosaki puts it. That just because something is shining, do not run into it. For instance, the other day he was talking about Bitcoin. These things that tend to generate money quite fast, we tend to run into them, forgetting that it's not as promising as it is. Just because it's shining, don't run deep into it, because you never know, maybe inflation will come up and it will tend to be of disadvantage to you. So ensure you do research on investment, number one. And number two, ensure that whatever that you choose to invest in, also be courageous enough and at peace with the fact that should you ever undergo a loss, you won't feel bad. It won't be like it's the end of your life, because investing is like taking a risk. You're not sure if your money will still come back, if you're going to gain profit, or if you're going to undergo losses. So make sure that you are at a stable place, so that in case your investments go into loss, which we are not praying for, you're still at a stable place to still maneuver around with your life. And also invest in solid stuff like assets. You can choose to invest in real estate. You can choose to invest in bonds. Invest with legit companies. For instance, in Kenya, you can choose to invest with Safaricom. You can choose to invest with renowned banks. Those companies that you're 100% sure 50 years to come, 30 years down the line, they'll still be running. So that when you're buying their shares, you're sure that your money will be somewhere. Just imagine 50 years down the line, you're just sitting somewhere and Safaricom is crediting your account. You'll be feeling so great. So ensure that you take your time, you research deeply, and you tend to handle things as expected. Then on the 30%, where we have our wants and catering for our dates, I would also love to tell you that you really have to ensure that you're working on clearing each and every debt that you have in your life, so that even as life moves on, you'll come to a point whereby there is no debt that you're still paying. No one wants to live being bothered with, please send me some coins, your money is being deducted. When you look at your paycheck, you don't even feel like working. You're discouraged, because it's like your money is it's vanishing. It's like you're working to pay. No, ensure that you're also working to enjoy your money. And under ones, make sure that you cater for each and everything that we've been talking about. Some things might look minor, like birthdays, like celebrations, like funerals, things that are popping up, but you have to ensure that they're still running. Why am I encouraging you to use the 50, 30, and 20 budget rule? Like, this will enable you to ensure that you're catering for yourself. You can still have some coins to spend on recreational activities, and you are in a position to invest and go ahead and save, so that in this case you will have a source of funds when it comes to emergency funding. You will also have a place whereby your money is still like regenerating more finances and more sources of income. You're also putting yourself in a place whereby you're meeting your standard of life, or you're growing and you're becoming a better person. You're living a better life, So as such, I would really like encourage you to embrace this. On the side note, though, is that if you're not earning enough, you might not be privileged to use this rule of thumb. This is because maybe if you're earning 20,000, honestly, like with the current economy, it won't do much. So please do not kill yourself trying to follow the rule of thumb if it doesn't suit your situation. Rather, continue working smart so that you have more sources of income and you come to a stable position where you can tend to embrace it. I really hope that it helps someone and you share the video with someone else whom you feel like it will be of importance to them.